So please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Noraldin Al-Deri, CEO and founder of the EICADD Centres, Aayushman Dalmia, founder and CEO of Zoftware, Ahmed Nassar, CTO of Labtronics and CEO of AQMAAR, and your moderator, Suhaib Ajlouni, CTO at Cybervize.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here at the Forbes Middle East 30 Under 30 Summit in Abu Dhabi. And thank you for joining. And I'm glad to be a part of this panel discussing how AI is transforming the way we live, work, and connect. AI is not just a technology. AI is transforming the way companies interact with their customers and also the way they solve their problem. And today, we are lucky to have amazing and expertise speakers. We have Noraldin, Dr. Noraldin. He's the founder of EICADD. He's transforming the way healthcare being conducted to patients. He's using AI to improve the prediction and also the prediction for the outcome and for analyzing for the patient. Next, we have Ahmed. Ahmed, he is leading the transformation of space tech, and in short, he is the equivalent of Tony Stark, the Arabic version. And next, we have Aayushman. Aayushman, he's at the cutting edge of using AI, combining the creativity of people with the powerful of the analytical tools of AI.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Dr. Noraldin, starting with healthcare, can you share how AI is transforming healthcare through personalization and prediction? And what do you think are the key ethical concerns in using health data?
So first of all, thank you for the very nice introduction, and thank you for Forbes also for having us as one of the 30 under 30 listers. Now, concerning healthcare, now it's, I would say it's a revolution using AI because, like you mentioned, now we're able to personalize the treatment plans, personalize the, let's say, the assessment in a very accurate way, where in the previous, let's say, times we had to do a lot of work to reach the right diagnosis. Now we can reach it in a couple minutes. So now concerning AI in healthcare, especially in the field of pediatrics, I would say that especially with autism and developmental disorders, now we're able to provide a 99.5 accuracy. We're able to get a more personalized precision health analyses, provide the causation as well, all because we're using AI. So AI is not just here to replace jobs. It's not here to replace the jobs of the doctors, nurses, and the health professionals, but it's more like a tool that can be facilitating and speed things up for us. And luckily now we were able to do that for children with autism. We are spreading in the region as well, not only in the diagnostics, like I said, but also in the therapy. Where now AI, we're able to use it also for drug research, for, let's say, surgery as well. We're able to use it. So it's expanding. And again, this is a revolution in the field, and similar to other fields, it's still improving more and more. But there are a lot of ethical concerns, like your other questions, where especially when you are dealing with data, which, it's extremely sensitive data, when you're dealing with children, right? And because, especially in my field, where we're dealing with information processing, brain development, a lot of the questions sometimes that we used to have from parents, are you going to put a chip in my child's head? Are you going to trying to control or brainwash him in a way? Because a lot of people misunderstand still, let's say, AI, but that adds to the responsibility that we have to provide safety for parents, privacy, confidentiality, and to make sure that any ethical or potential ethical problems coming or stemming from dealing with data, it's avoided. Alhamdulillah, all of this now we have a lot of tech people that take these into consideration, and we are evolving and learning more and more. But I think the more ethical issues that we have is not with the diagnostics part, but mostly with the confidentiality and the privacy of the patient himself or herself.
Fantastic point. It's really exciting to see how AI is impacting healthcare. Building on that, how AI-powered tools are improving daily wellness through real-time health tracking and tailored advice, because it seems like we are moving toward more proactive approach to healthcare.
Definitely. Now, what we tried to, now we started first, for example, I'll give you an example of what we're doing. Now, we started initially with diagnostics and assessments, but then now we're moving more into personalized health, where we're able using, taking samples from children and from the person. Now we're spreading to not only children, but from people in general. And we're able to know on a cellular level using AI what's the best course of treatment, where are the causes, longevity. We're able to intervene with the best drugs given to the children, intolerances. So before we used to try, especially in certain fields where it's very dependent on experimental medicine, a lot of the people, I mean, neurologists and psychiatrists who are our colleagues with this field, they deal with experimental medicine and trying. But now, as we are biologists, geneticists, biochemists, and AI professionals, we're able to tell them what are the exact, let's say, maybe dosage, what is the best medication for that child, especially with very sensitive cases when you're dealing with children. But that also applies to sports. The sport applies to other healthcare, let's say, issues or other health problems. Like now, we are able to know the outcome of surgeries that are with a very high accuracy. So I would say that AI enabled us to have a more tailored plan, and especially in our region now in the MENA, we are doing things that are spreading very fast around the region, and we are pioneers now in these fields. And alhamdulillah, at first there was always a pushback from not only the professionals, like I said, fearing that they will be replacing their jobs, but also from the parents themselves because they're questioning, right? But now, after proving that for thousands of cases, how we can have a more tailored, like you mentioned, a more personalized approach, like you mentioned, it would benefit the child, benefit the people, and benefit us personally. So all of these advancements now, we're able to reach a very good level, and it's still the beginning. Now, we're all holding hands together as geneticists, again, biochemists, biologists, doctors, rehabilitation specialists, to reach the maximum we're able to reach. And this is just, like we say, the surface. We did not even scratch the surface with AI in healthcare.
Amazing. We're really excited for the future of healthcare. Thank you very much to Dr. Noraldin. Moving into business world, Aayushman, how can businesses use AI to combine human creativity with AI analytical strength?
It's a good question. So basically, what we do is, or what AI does is combine augmented reality in the workforce. And the best example I can give of that is of DHL. Now, DHL used machine learning to predict driver routes and their outcomes when they had to deliver packages in the US. The driver typically would go multiple routes, and it wasn't optimized. Fuel costs weren't optimized, driver timings were not optimized. And when DHL used AI and augmented intelligence within their ecosystem, it took them 3 to 4 years for the company to adopt those standards. There was a lot of pushback. People within the organization did not have the cultural experience and understanding to pick up on what the value of AI could be. And AI is obviously, it's a term that is thrown around a lot, but it has a lot to do with the data inputs. What are the variables that need to be taken into consideration? And when DHL had done this, they had saved over $10 billion, and in fact, that increased their revenue significantly as well. So when it comes to adopting any sort of model within the workspace, there has to be a huge understanding and buy-in from the management, and it has to go down sort of a top-down approach where the teams and the people who are working in the processes where AI is going to come in, they are, very, how do I say it, they accept the change, and they're able to then contribute to its growth.
Nice. And you mentioned adopting AI into the industry. So what do you think the role of trust play in the adopting of AI, and how ethical concern can be addressed to build a responsible system?
So ethics and AI, I think there are so many debates that go on about this. But the way I approach this is I like to think of a very simple thought experiment. So imagine you're driving a train, all right? And the train has two paths. One path, there is one person on the train track, and the other path has 4 people on the train track. It's a very popular utilitarian question. And ethics would say, and you have to go over one, which means, unfortunately, someone is going to have to pass away. So which path would you take? Typically, the answer is, okay, you'd rather go taking the one person over the 4, and then there are layers of complexity to it, where you put in what if one of them is your family member, what if somebody else is committed certain kind of crimes, and the complexity keeps changing. But the way I look at ethics in this scenario is it is highly individual and highly personalized. And with AI, the biggest difference is we all talk about the ethics from an overarching standpoint, from a government standpoint, which is, they have their own reasons for what they do. But giving the power of ethics to an individual for them to choose how they want to, let's say, share their data with AI, that is of a lot of value. And that is something that is not spoken about enough. That is something that is not even given to the user to decide. Today, if we're using a ChatGPT or any open source LLM, when we communicate with them, or when we communicate with it, it's giving us output and responses based on what some third-party person is training the data sets. And that's where trust also starts going down, is if I'm not necessarily seeing an opinion that I can relate to, my trust for that LLM and that model starts reducing. So how can you take privacy and how can you take ethics more from a macro perspective and give it to a micro perspective? If that can be executed and that power can be given, which no big corporate would want to do, but if that can be given, that is where there would be a lot of progress and trust being created within this domain of AI and artificial intelligence.
As we're already talking about trust also, what is your input or feedback about data privacy? So how would you recommend a company would like to benefit from AI, but they are really concerned from data privacy?
So companies that are concerned with data privacy, the way, we are talking at the back as well, and I generally don't think data today is as private as people even think it to be, even as of now. Everything is being tracked. And if you want from a business to be able to offer that to your customers, it's all about being open, not having those long terms and conditions sheets. And as a business, if it's about protecting your own data, there are a lot of different ways from a security standpoint, and I think you might be the best person to understand that, given you're from cybersecurity. But there would be a lot of ring fences infrastructure that you would be required to put around to make sure that the data remains private within an organization.
Thank you very much. Moving into space now, to Ahmed. How do swarm satellites contribute to effective AI-driven solution for industries back here on Earth?
Okay, what a question. Are you ready for a speech out of this world? Literally, we are going to talk about space, okay? I'm actually living the dream now. I made a company that works in space industry. I hoped one day to work in a similar company, but I didn't find any. So I created my own company and living my own dream. So I called it AQMAAR. AQMAAR is specialized in swarm solution missions in space. So what we do essentially is we feed the AI models with a lot of data about the spacecraft configurations and how we can design the spacecraft for each customer in a very, very fast manner compared to other companies and countries. So we are cutting the design of each space mission from 2 years to almost 1 week. So this has a big impact on the economics of space. Also, What SpaceX did is also disturbing the industry and making it possible for small companies like us to go to space. So we are doing the same, but for the satellites. So back to the AI, we are using we are using swarm satellites. So a lot of spacecrafts are simultaneously taking data and images and remote sensing data and so on, and feeding it into a large AI model. So this AI model can predict the next fire, where it will be located, the next hurricane, where it will be heading. And we can monitor the health of our corps back on the land. We can monitor ships, and we can track vehicles. We can detect any border breach or something like this. So swarm satellites enables us to collect a lot of data from different pieces of the world and take an informative decision back on Earth. So this is how we are intending to disturb the industry of space.
I would like you to share with us, how do you see space economy and AI are coming together?
Yeah, if we look historically, we have SpaceX reduced the cost of launch from $80,000 to around $8,000. And it reduces also the time of launch from 1 year. For example, NASA did it for the past years in rescheduling for almost 1 year each rocket. So SpaceX made it for 1 month. So SpaceX reduces 2 factors. We have two other factors, which are the satellite factors. We have the design time of the satellite. We have the cost of the satellite itself. So we are targeting to reduce both using AI by simply making the swarm solution for each mission. By this way, we can reduce the cost of each component dramatically. We can go for almost 2 orders of magnitudes for each component. And for the time, we are using AI to configure the spacecraft as fast as we can. As I told you, in 1 week, we can configure any spacecraft for any customer. And from this point, we can launch a swarm of satellites. Once we have a swarm up there, and the AI can configure the swarm as we want and control it and keep it in shape with very, very high accuracy compared to human accuracy, because we have almost 500 vehicles in space. We can't control it as a human, but we need an AI model on board of each ship so they can keep the swarm in shape. And eventually, we will provide a service for each customer based on his requirement and based on the spacecraft design and so on. So this is how we can reduce the economics of space, and we make it affordable for each company, make it fast, because in these days, fast is the key word for any company to survive.
Exciting. When can we expect the first AQMAAR satellite?
Actually, we are scheduling a launch in 6 months from now.
Nice.
AQMAAR now has wings. We can go to space, and we are working as much as we can, as fast as we can, back at home in Egypt to deliver the spacecraft in time and see our first Egyptian satellite made from a private sector company.
Looking forward to see it. As we are wrapping up, I would like to ask each one of you to share your thought into the future. How AI is shaping the customer journey in your industry over the next 5 years, and what are the biggest challenges you foresee? Starting with Dr. Noraldin.
So I see in the next, I would say, couple years, 5 years or so, that we have a more tailored intervention for each patient, for each child, for each individual. I see that it will minimize the misdiagnosis. I see that it will the rates of misdiagnosis, when they are reduced, you reduce the costs, of course. And now, for example, for our case, for EICADD, we're able to reduce it from when the high diagnosis or the misdiagnosis, rather, of autism and developmental disorder was 70%. Now we were able to reduce it to 0.5%. So all of that using AI. But like I said, that was just in the past 2 years. So the beauty of AI is that it's growing. The data, as it grows, we're able to do better results. We're able to find new outcomes on how we can help kids and adults with different health conditions. But also, we're able to find new options or routes, because when we started with AI in the field of autism, we just started for the process of assessment. But now, when we entered the biological aspect, the biochemistry, the genetics, we're able to delve into more detailed therapeutic approaches and also provide a higher assessment and diagnosis to have a more holistic approach. So for me, like I said, I see very positive things. And I always say, by the way, for any field, whether it's our field as science or any tech or education or health or whatever, AI is not something that will be taking your jobs, but it might if you don't keep up with it. So I think the only people that would be losing their jobs in the future will be the people that are not able to keep up with AI or are not able to put AI in their models. But if you're able to do it, I see the total opposite where it will benefit you, whether you're a doctor, engineer, teacher, or just a businessman.
Thank you. It's clearly a must to use AI in your work or in your business. Moving to Ahmed.
Yeah, over time we have the production of any product is lacking the customization part. We have, for example, cars. We see cars similar to each other, same color, same size, same dimension, and so on, because we have this model tested and well tested in economics and so on. So the production line lacks the customization, but it also provides you a product with affordable price and in affordable speed. On the other hand, the customization is very expensive in each field. If you made your own custom car and so on, you will find the budget goes high, and it will take a lot of time compared to the regular car. But using AI, we can combine both worlds. We can make a customized solution with the fast of the production line, with the cost of the production line, and this is how the economy will benefit it, and especially the space will benefit it mostly. Thank you.
Thank you. Aayushman.
So I look at customer experience in two aspects. You have complex customer experiences and you have simple customer experiences. Your simple customer experiences, you go onto Amazon, you want to buy laundry detergent, you click on a product and you purchase it. The experience there where AI will come in is to be able to predict when a user needs laundry detergent and then market it to them at that point. That's simple. A lot of companies are doing it very well. Where AI is going to evolve in customer experience is going to come in the complex processes. Complex processes such as healthcare, highly complex processes. What we do at Zoftware is basically help software companies find buyers and software buyers find the perfect software. Now, finding a perfect software is a highly complex process. So when we have gone through the customer buying journey and the experience journey of purchasing software, we've added several layers of intelligence to be able to recommend the right software for the software buyer. For example, based on their industry, different software specialize in different industries, different software have different price points, different software have different feature sets to them. Now, all of that is quite basic, right? Where does the experience come in? The experience comes in is to make the decision cycle shorter, to give confidence to the software buyer when or what product would be the best fit for them. Helping them with the entire integration process, which again, as a cybersecurity expert, you understand how complex that is to go into another company, set up your system, set up your product within their existing infrastructure. So how can you make highly complex systems super simplified using artificial intelligence? That is the evolution of AI in customer experience.
A big thank to Dr. Noraldin, Ahmed, and Aayushman. So thank you for sharing your insights. So that it's clear for us now that AI is no longer just an emerging trend. It's changing the way we live and we work. As we have here today, AI offers amazing opportunity to improve our life and businesses, but also it introduces a lot of challenges that need to be addressed remotely. And I believe collaboration and innovation are the key to make AI work for everyone. Thank you all for being a part of this conversation. Let's continue to push the boundaries of innovation and providing a smarter solution for our customer. And I wish you all to enjoy the rest of the summit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Hello, do you want to go on stage?